Saturday, the 9th of April. Now, that was our audience coming in there, but I think I recognise... Look, go back. No, back again. Right. That's only Una and Rochelle from the Saturday. Yes. And they're not alone, because all the girls are here, they're popping in for a chat, and they're performing their latest single for us today. And joining me, Ruth Langsford, on the panel today are Mylene Klass, Janet Street-Porter and Sherry Hewson. And today, Mylene's going to be telling us how she and her family are coping after a fresh appeal was made by Scotland Yard yesterday to try and find this man in connection with the mugging of her mum and sister. She's talked about it on the show before. Also, we're going to be talking about Britain's first cloned dog. Have you seen that in the paper? And there's a big show about it on Channel 4 tonight. And where is that missing aeroplane in the Indian Ocean? Today, time is literally running out. What happened? We're going live to Australia to hopefully get some answers. As always, we love to hear from you. Tell us all your thoughts, anything we're talking about today. You can get in touch, all the usual means there on your screen, Facebook, Twitter, website, etc. And we'd love to hear from you. Now, I think I'm in the mood for a celebrity guest. Shall we start with it? We don't normally start with a celebrity, do we? But I'm in the mood. OK, here for a chat. And she's staying on for the rest of the show today as our fifth Loose Women. It is Michelle Collins. Well, listen, you've passed the first test, which was to walk across there in high heels.
Oh, no, it's like the walk of shame, isn't it?
Yeah. How are you?
Aim for the mug.
Thank you.
Your mug.
Thank you. Yes, I'm all right,
You've got your own special mug, right?
A special mug, new format.
Right.
Well, not too many new ladies, no.
Hello.
A few new
So
ladies.
you left Corrie, when was it? Only for us last week.
Yes, I think I left... Stella left on Wednesday to go to New York.
Right.
Yes.
But when did you actually film it?
Well, I think Corrie's about 7-8 weeks in advance. So, yeah, mid-February time, yeah.
And
So you're not dead, are you?
I'm not dead. Not yet. I mean, anything could happen.
Anything could
We
happen.
know what happened to poor Cindy.
But did you go out in a black cab?
I did.
So did I.
Everybody leaves Corrie in a black cab. What if it's the same black cab driver?
There she is. Well, that's good, though, black cab, isn't it? Waving goodbye, because that means the door's open to come back, I presume.
Yeah. I'm back as a cab driver.
Well, I've got my family there, so I suppose I could go back. I've got my two daughters still there. And, you know, I don't sort of rule it out. I left for my own reasons, and I left on a high. I don't think I've upset anybody.
Why did you leave, Michelle?
A few reasons. I really only thought I'd probably stay for 3 years, to be honest with you, because my daughter is going to be doing her A-levels.
Your real daughter?
My real daughter, sorry, my real daughter, who's 17, nearly 18. She starts her AS levels now, and I really felt that I needed to be around. They gave me time off to do her GCSE. She hates that picture. It's a selfie. Yeah, I love it. She hates it. So I had time off to do her GCSEs. I had 6 weeks off. And I just felt that I really need to be around.
I actually think often they need you more.
Exactly,
you know, people
what I say.
Women always stress about being away from their kids when they're really little.
Even
but actually,
if they don't
I think
speak to you, because they're teenagers.
Yeah.
She doesn't really speak to me. You know, she tells me what she wants and that's it. But just to be around and to... You know, if they need you, take her to school, just all those things that you really miss when you're away. You just feel so guilty, don't you, when you're away so much anyway. I mean, as mothers, we just feel guilt all the time.
Standard operation.
Yeah. But
you had a fantastic time in Corrie. I mean, you had great storylines.
Yes,
you know, when you look back, you must think, wow, that's a fantastic 3 years of my life.
Yeah, people are funny though, aren't they? They don't understand why you need to leave, and you do have a great job. But actually, there are other things out there besides work
left EastEnders
all the time. Yes, I mean, and not to say that I don't want to work. I still want to be a jobbing actor. That's what I want to do. But I don't want to be defined by just one role in another.
I just think the thing is, when you are a jobbing actor or actress, the opportunities they are really, you know, few and far between. It's so competitive. Are you ever frightened that we'll ever get a big job again?
Yes, and well, also I did take Corrie as well because I wanted a bit of security at that point in my life. I like a challenge.
I grew up watching you with Cindy.
Did you? I like a challenge. I like a gamble, and I do like to do other things. And I think you get to a point in your life. I'm 51 now. You need to sort of do other things. And
it's exciting, isn't it? It's exciting that, you know, other things... Because you went straight into Casualty, didn't you?
Yeah, I did literally, I finished on the Wednesday and started on Monday. That's me wanting a rest.
It's your break.
But it's not, you know, it's a big cast and it's only a guest role. So I've done 2 already. I've got 1 more to do, which I finish off next week. And that's great, just getting in the big wide world and doing something else.
And theatre.
Meeting other actors.
Going into the
And
theatre.
I'm going in to do a play at the Hampstead Theatre, which is a brand new play, which is also one of the reasons why I wanted to go. I want to do more theatre. Just spread my wings.
And also, it's
start.
freed up time for you to write your book. This is me.
Yes.
How difficult was it for you? Because you know, you haven't pulled any punches here. You've been extremely honest. You've talked about a lot of very difficult things.
Yeah.
Did you set out? Were the publishers very keen for you to do that? Was it you that wanted to do that?
Not really. I didn't sort of have, you know, they didn't say, oh, you've got to talk about this and you've got to talk about this, because I've been asked many times before, particularly in the 90s, when everyone was doing these kiss and tell books, when they're very sensational, you know, all about men, and that's just not me. I didn't really want to do that. And so after when I announced that I was leaving Corrie, my then agent, Jonathan Shallett, you know Mr. Shallett,
I know him very well.
said to me,
Jonathan.
why don't you do one now? And it just felt that actually the time was right. And I'd sort of gone full circle between Walford and Weatherfield, done lots of things in between that a lot of people didn't really know about or they'd forgotten about. And I just...
But you talked about something, I mean, I don't know how much you want to talk about now, but when you were talking about an attempted suicide, that is petrifying. How do you get that onto paper? How do you relive
It's
something
difficult,
like that?
and when you say, I think also what's really scary is when you put, to me, I wanted to be
sweating asking
really
you the
honest.
question.
Oh, it's all right. I mean, I knew that would happen. Obviously, people would, and it would be sensationalised. But I wanted it to be honest because I'm a bit like you, Janet. I think, you know, what I say is what I mean, and I just didn't want to be glossed over.
I can see all that, and you talk about your battle with food and everything like that.
Which has always been out there before.
Oh, yeah, but
yes.
are you worried, especially the age your daughter is now, that when she reads the book, I mean, she might have read it already, what impact will it have on her? Before you wrote it, did you kind of think, did you edit it a bit?
Of course, and there were things that I put in that I wanted to take out. I mean, you know what, I'm not ashamed of it, I think. And these are, I think people can learn, particularly what's been happening recently with all these suicides and everything. And to me, in a way, it wasn't a suicide at the time. You have to read it. It needs to be contextualised. It's a bit like I read something say, someone said, I just wanted to go to sleep. I just wanted to get away from everything. And I think we've all been in places, in dark places, where
you want things to stop.
Yeah, I started a new job. I was a single parent. I had a lot of pressure on me. I was broken-hearted. I was in a strange country. I was trying to be Superwoman. My self-esteem was really low, and I was frightened to tell people how I was feeling. And I think we're all in that position, particularly in this industry.
Everybody thinks in your industry that everything's terribly glamorous and you're living this wonderful life.
And I wasn't ready to talk about that years ago, probably even 5 years ago. But in a way, it's a bit of closure now, I think. And I don't think... And so I'm not ashamed. And I don't think my daughter should be ashamed about that either.
Does she know
things
about
like,
it?
Things about... you know, eating disorders. I have talked about that, and I think eating disorders are rife, particularly with social media and in this industry. It's awful. And when I had it years ago, you know, in the 80s, it was a bit of a taboo. People didn't really talk about it. And at least now they talk about it.
And also she'll know that she can talk to you about it. Well, we're going to do a lot more talking with Michelle, because I said Michelle is staying with us. But for the moment, thank you very much, Michelle Collins. Because we're moving on now, as more signals may have been detected from the black box of the missing Malaysian Airlines flight MH370. We'll be getting all the latest from aviation expert Geoffrey Thomas. He'll be live from Perth in Australia after this break. Hello, welcome back to Wednesday's Loose Women. We've got a competition for you now. You could shop till you drop and still have plenty of cash to spare in the bank, because we're giving away £20,000 cash and £10,000 to spend at John Lewis. No question to answer even. Just take a look at this. Call 0904 161 1000. Calls cost no more than £1.54 from BT landlines. Other networks may be higher and mobiles considerably more. Text WIN to 65029. Text costs £1.50 plus one standard network rate message. You can also enter for free at the website. Entrance must be 18 or over. Entries made after lines close at 5 p.m. on Sunday the 20th of April will not be counted but may still be charged. Great competition. Good luck with that. Now, it's been just over a month since flight MH370 disappeared while flying from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing with 239 people on board. Yesterday, more pulse signals were detected from what they hope is the plane's black box flight recorder, but there's still no sign at all of the plane itself. Speaking to us live from Perth in Australia to bring us right up to date is aviation expert Geoffrey Thomas. Geoffrey, hello there.
Hi, Ruth.
Geoffrey, this is a most incredible mystery that we've obviously all been following so closely, I know, including yourself. What is the latest that you're hearing? We've heard that obviously some new pings have been detected and they're hoping to now narrow this search down, and they're hoping that this is actually the black box flight recorder. What's your take on this so far?
Look, indeed, first of all, the area that they're searching in off the coast of Western Australia, this search area was arrived at by using data from the Inmarsat, the British telecommunications company, Inmarsat satellites that were interrogating the Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. It gives off pings every hour, and using that data and using data that has been supplied by various countries in Southeast Asia relating to tracking of the plane by military radar, they had worked out a flight path. Now, they've refined that flight path, in fact, 7 times, and the final analysis that they've come to is where they're actually looking for the plane right now, or the pings from the black boxes. Now, interestingly enough, where they've actually detected those pings, that's where Inmarsat says was the last ping that was received from this 777. So there's a very high level of confidence that they are right onto the aircraft. They've actually had 4 detections of pings, a couple on Saturday, and then they reacquired it again yesterday. So they're now trying to triangulate those recordings, and also they're still trying to get more pings from the black boxes before they send down an autonomous underwater vehicle. It looks like a torpedo. It's called a Bluefin 21, to go down and use a side scan sonar to search for the actual wreckage itself.
They say, Geoffrey, that the pings, they've described them as stable, distinct and clear sounds consistent with a plane's black box. But clearly they're worried about the battery life, which I understand is 30 days, but it should have run out on Sunday. How close do you think it is to them losing that signal completely?
Indeed, Ruth. The battery life is certified. Requirement is for 30 days. But like so many things in aviation, it's over-engineered. So the experience has been that the battery life will be more like 40 days, and we've got another 6 or 7 days to go. So they're continuing to do to tow the pinger locator, to try and pick up more signals, to close down and refine the area even more, so the work of the Bluefin 21 is made much easier.
Geoffrey, this is Janet Street Porter. I'd like to ask you one question, which is about the Air France plane that disappeared in 2009, and that took 2 years to find in far shallower water. Do you think there's a greater chance of finding this plane, even though the ocean at this point is very, very deep?
Look, indeed, Janet, that's a very good point. You're right. It crashed in June 2009. It took them 2 years to find it. They were able to find debris within a few days on the surface. So far, we've actually found no debris at all for this aircraft. So they've learnt a lot from the search for Air France 447, and in fact, it was a Bluefin 21 that found Air France 447. So lessons have been learnt. There's a higher level of confidence that they can pinpoint this. So, you know, while there's a level of confidence, you're right, it's 4,500 metres deep, much deeper than Air France 447. So it may well be, it could take months, if not years, to actually locate the wreckage.
Geoffrey, it's Ruth again here. There have been so many theories about what may or may not have happened to this flight. As an aviation expert, what do you think happened? Why do you think it had gone so far off course and has completely disappeared? You know, we've got devices on our phones now, can track your phone if you've left it on the train, and yet a plane has just disappeared. What do you think's happened?
Look, indeed, Ruth, this whole bizarre mystery challenges everything we've come to expect, like Google Earth photographs of our back gardens, iPhone finders, those sorts of things. It's an instant world, and we've lost an aeroplane weighing 250 tonnes for a month. I believe that it has to have been deliberate actions by somebody. We don't know who, because the plane changed course numerous times. It also, various systems were shut down on that plane. And it also changed altitude as well, we understand. Now, all of those things require human input. It can't be an aeroplane gone mad, if you like. But why and who, that remains a mystery and may always be a mystery.
Well, Jeffrey, it's fascinating talking to you. That's Jeffrey Thomas, aviation expert, live to us from Perth. Jeffrey, thank you very much indeed. And we were saying there about the flight recorder, they always call it the black box. Yeah. This is actually a black box flight recorder. As you can see, it's not black, it's orange. And although that looks quite big on our desk, when you think of that, he said 3.5 miles deep in that enormous, vast ocean. That's like looking for a needle in a haystack, really, isn't it?
That must be.
But it's extraordinary when he just said human input, but it would have to be expert human input on that plane. There's people on that plane that have you know, changed the altitude, they've veered off thousands of miles. There has to be people on there that have done that, and they must be experts. So it's
well, hopefully the mystery, if they can find
Mm.
this, then hopefully it won't be a mystery anymore. But
well, it's a tragedy for the families.
Terrible for the families, absolutely awful. And we mustn't forget the families and all this, because it's become, you know, it's like a film we're watching now. It's like a movie, isn't it? Like,
yeah, but they're real people.
But there are real
waiting
people,
for their loved
absolutely. Anyway, we will take a break now. Let us know what you think about that. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And coming up, we're going to be discussing this cute little puppy. This is Britain's first cloned dog. But is cloning your pet a step too far? And can you help us find this man? Now, this is the person who is wanted in connection with the mugging of Mylene's mum and sister. That was in broad daylight in a street robbery. And Mylene's going to be telling us how her family have been coping since that attack. Right after this break. See you then. Having a chat amongst themselves there. All right, we're back on. Back in the room. Yeah, hello, welcome back to Wednesday's Loose Women. Now, take a look at this cute little puppy. Look at that. That is Britain's first cloned dog, would you believe? Now, she is called Minnie Winnie. She was born in a laboratory in South Korea after her owner, Rebecca Smith, won a £60,000 contest to have her 12-year-old Dachshund dog, Winnie, cloned. So we thought, is that a step too far? I see a lot of you shaking your heads, a lot of you smiling. I have to say, if I'd have seen this 2 years ago before I got my dog, I'd be going, what a lot of rubbish. How ridiculous. For God's sake, is the woman mad? Now I've got my Maggie. Oh, look at my Maggie. You see, that's like my baby.
I don't think anyone would want to clone my dog, because he's the most ugliest dog.
Is he?
I mean, he's gorgeous. I love him, but he's got the most weirdest look at him. Oh, he is gorgeous.
No, but see, now I've got my dog, I can understand it slightly, because the thought now of because this dog, the Winnie that's being cloned is 12 years old, Rebecca's dog is 12 years old. Once my dog's getting older and I'll be looking at her thinking, I can't bear it, I'm going to lose her, I can't bear it, I can kind of understand it.
No, but the thing is, when you
dogs look the same anyway, but it's the personality, it's the experiences that have got into your relationship with that dog. You can't clone those moments. It's almost
and
like
also, if you clone a dog,
maybe you can.
I had a beautiful Weimaraner called Kais, and I would have loved to have cloned him because he was so gorgeous. But the thing is with him, look at him.
He's beautiful.
My Kais. But the thing is, if I'd have cloned him, you see, and he'd have arrived, and I'd have said, oh, do you remember that? And he'd gone, I've no idea what you're talking about. Because I'm only a clone.
That's the thing, you're just cloning the look, aren't you? So I could clone a dog that looked like Maggie, but she wouldn't be Maggie.
No memories.
Just different personality. And also, a lot of dog behavioural experts say that we create our dog's personality by how you behave with them.
But you still want to be a holding mini Maggie. cuddling her.
Yeah.
Or I've stolen a dog. I don't even have a dog, but I've
stolen one.
My friend's got a very cute one, and I've suddenly understood now what it's all about, because it's definitely that link that you have with them and that enjoyment. But however, how do you reproduce that? And I think
Janet's face.
She hates dogs. She just said she hates dogs.
No, my partner's got a dog, and the dog's living.
Look at that dog.
That's not a
That looks like a rat to me. I'm sorry. That looks a cross between a gerbil and a hamster.
I'm
Is that
going to clone you that one.
There are so many dogs out there that need homes and dog rescue charities.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be cloning them. We
Thank
should be
you,
just
Rachel.
right. You know, I just don't think we should.
The thing is, what you could have them stuffed. Now, taxidermy is not a bad thing. My friend had her Labrador stuffed, and he sits by her fire.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do they smell?
You know,
Do they smell?
no, they just look.
And the advantage is nothing comes out of
At
his
the other
bottom
end.
end. Yeah, I've got some stuffed. I have a stuffed pet. It's two. Well, actually, I've got two. They're stuffed frogs playing snooker. And I've got two little stuffed frogs playing snooker. And
They weren't your pets.
Wendy
How do you
Richards used to
find
collect
it?
frogs, you know. Do you collect frogs?
Yeah.
But how do you go and find a frog
They were
and stuff it?
They sit there, they don't answer back, they don't poo.
And they play snooker.
And they play snooker, and I haven't got to buy great big tins
But
of smelly food.
they weren't your pets, I presume. Somebody just gave you those
No,
as
they
a
were a
gift.
present, they're Victorian. But I can't, I've got no empathy with dogs whatsoever. Because as a walker, when you go for a walk with a dog, they don't walk in a straight line, do they? What is this
Not
dog
the
walk?
people.
They zigzag. They drive you mad.
If you're looking at the ethical side of it, we've really cloned a sheep, and we've cloned body parts for human science and to helping people get very sick. What's the reason, you have to ask yourself, for cloning your pets?
Well,
Because you
Because
can. Because you
We
can.
think we can have
then? Should
everything,
we do
don't
that?
we? No,
I
it's
don't- I
double
don't
human
know.
nature. I don't think we should do it. I think it's silly. I think it's
I
a
do.
silly thing to do,
You see,
actually.
it's
She's obviously got too much. Oh, she was given the
No,
money.
this was
She
part
won...
of, you'll see there's a documentary about it, Cloning Man's Best Friend on Channel 4 tonight. So it was all part of a documentary, and there was a contest.
How
which
much
they had
did
to
it
win.
cost, Ruth?
£60,000.
I'd rather spend £60,000 on giving 2 or 3 people the right to prolong their lives if they had cancer.
OK, so what do you
quite
think
frankly,
then?
than
Well,
get
what do you
another
think?
dog.
If you didn't clone, Paul O'Grady, who we all know well, not very long ago, he spent £8,000 in treatment for his dog Olga, we all know Olga from his show, on treatment for cancer, and that was despite the vet saying that the pet should be put down. Is it different?
But why not?
Yeah, that's
he
different.
doesn't have any children. His dog is
That's
like
it.
his family, so why not?
OK,
He's
so
trying to
then,
save
if
his
he
life.
then said, well, Olga's on her way out and I can't bear losing her, and he's got the money, why would...
No, I did that.
Olga's
I
not
did that.
cloned.
What's wrong
I
with
did that with
cloning
my.
her?
I did that with my Varna, and I kept him alive as long as I could. But the other one I had was a Westie, and he went to a friend of mine who wanted him, and she couldn't have children. Now she treated him like a baby up till he was 16 and died, and she had his own cupboard with his own plates, and he had his own bed, and he had his own clothes and everything.
She would get on very well with my mum. My mum steams the prawns for her cat.
No, I know, but the thing is,
They eat better than I
there's a
do.
lot of people out there who can't have children, and their dogs are their children, so kind of understand it in a way, you know? You can't clone a baby, can you?
Well,
You know what I mean?
maybe
See,
one
don't know what
day.
we're gonna
There was
do
an
now.
amazing story recently how a dog really helped an autistic child. I don't know if you read about that one.
Yeah.
Completely changed his life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
man's
don't know.
friend.
We don't know enough about it at the
Man's
moment,
best
I don't
friend.
think. So
Anyway, you'll see that. There's a documentary about it tonight if you want to know more about that. Interesting. Competition for you again now. And if doing stuff with the kids this Easter holiday has already made a dent in your bank balance, then listen up. We're giving away £20,000 cash and £10,000 to spend at John Lewis. No question to answer. Just have a look at this. Call 0904 161 1000. Calls cost no more than £1.54 from BT landlines. Other networks may be higher and mobiles considerably more. Text WIN to 65029. Text costs £1.50 plus one standard network rate message. You can also enter for free at the website. Entrance must be 18 or over. Entries made after lines close at 5 p.m. on Sunday the 20th of April will not be counted but may still be charged. Best of luck with that. Great competition. Now, we're going to try and help Mylene and her family here this afternoon, also Scotland Yard, because we want to help find this man. Now, you've heard Mylene talk about this on the show before. This man is the prime suspect in the mugging of Mylene's mum and her sister in North London. That was back in January. Now, yesterday, the police released these CCTV images of the suspect in a fresh bid to catch him. Everybody have a good look. Somebody must know that man. There's the police incident hotline on your screen. We'll also put that on our website. Now, that is a very clear picture. It must be very hard for you to look at that. At the moment, he's just wanted in connection with. We don't actually know, but obviously they are looking for him. And you have to be very careful what you say.
You know how I feel about this.
I know.
Yeah.
Tell me how your mum is after that. It's happened in January.
I mean, I don't know if anyone that's had this happen to themselves or to their mum, you'd feel the way that I feel. I'm very, very angry about it because, you know, he chose a very good target. My mum's like 5'2". She was with my sister, also like 5 foot. They were coming home early evening, and yeah, I mean, they put up a fight, but what he did to them was horrific. He dragged them both along the ground.
And how has it left your mum and sister feeling after that?
My mum is just, it's like you almost build a prison within yourself, because, you know, your mum looks after you for so long, but then you now have to look after your mum, make sure she's okay, and I ring her up, are you all right? And she, you know, she cries very easily. She came around with a torch for me, and then some spray for me, and she's just on edge.
I know she doesn't really like, well, she worries about you even talking about it, doesn't she? Because she's always worried there'll be repercussions for you.
Of course.
How's it left you feeling?
Like I said, I'm very angry about what happened. I know the full details as you guys do, and it's utterly horrific. And I doubt very much, I don't know, but I doubt very much that this is the first time that this man has done this. So you just think, well, how are other girls and you know, children in the same situation feeling about what their mums or sisters might have been through?
For you and your family, there is a process that has to be followed, which is why we obviously also
I'm like
have to be
this,
careful what we say.
biting my tongue, because I'm so frightened I'm going to say the wrong thing.
I know, but let's just put the picture up again, just because I really want people to have a good look at that, because somebody has got to know that man. He may not even live in London. They were saying it might have come from another area. Yep. We don't know, but somebody hopefully watching, you know, we're nationwide on this show, might know. So please, please let us know.
It's a very good photo. I think, you know, if you know that guy, looking at that photo, you definitely know who that is.
Has it left you worrying generally about crime, anything like this happening to you?
I think as a woman living in London, you're naturally aware. I travel a lot as well, so I try and keep my wits about me, and I'm also always with my 2 girls, so I make sure that we have this bubble around us. But it's always the unexpected that it's hard to prepare for. You don't want to scaremonger, and you don't want everyone to live in fear.
You don't, but every story like this that we've heard, and every time you pick up the paper, this is what makes us live in fear. Do you worry, Michelle?
Yeah, I mean, last night, Scott, a friend of mine who's also doing my makeup, this book tour, he was mugged on the train last night, 8:15 at night. Yeah, he stayed. He was coming from Leeds to London, and he stayed last night, 7:45, stayed on the train to pack his things up. Turned around, and someone said, "Give me your phone." There was another man with a knife at knife point. His wallet. Actually, his wallet was in a suitcase. And then they just took his bag away. I mean, he was really shaken up. You know, he's my age. He's an older guy, and he was like really in shock.
Was there anybody else on the train?
No, nobody around, and they don't even know whether they've got them on CCTV camera yet.
Police say that there is this discrepancy between people feeling frightened of crime and actual crime figures, because crime isn't suddenly escalating. It's not escalating. I live right in the middle of central London. I walk everywhere. Last night I went out to get something to eat. I went to a movie, and then I walked from the movie at 8:30 through the city, had something to eat with a friend, and then walked home at 11:30 at night. Now, I don't feel...
And you don't feel a bit frightened?
I don't feel the slightest bit frightened.
Have you ever been mugged?
I think it's great you feel that way, but at the same time,
should be made
you
to
don't
be
walk,
aware.
you march, and you're 6 foot, and I'm not... you're going to probably make them cross the road.
I don't do anything, like carry a handbag on the outside of my coat late at night. I put it inside my jacket rather than on the outside. I don't wear... you know, flashy jewellery. You just
it's
feel
just a matter of
streetwise.
being sensible, isn't it, about it? I mean, I'm like Janet. Whenever I'm in London, I don't feel frightened at all, but I actually do think we can scare ourselves to death. And I think other people feel scared. I mean, do you remember the time when it was all the thing about the boxes, the red letter boxes, and, you know, they were blowing them up and all the thing. And I got terrified, you know, that you walk by a letterbox and you think, oh, my God, and you scared yourself to death. I think we have to kind of take it, you know, overall. And there are pockets that are more dangerous than others. You know, we all know that. It's just a matter of being sensible.
Yeah, I think Scott was unlucky and in the wrong place at the wrong time, really.
But, you know, you can't go around being frightened.
And I felt bad because he comes to London to see me. And I've lived in London all my life, and I mean, touch wood, I've never been mugged. I've been abused on a tube, but I've never actually been mugged. And I consider myself quite street savvy, really.
Have you ever been mugged, Janet?
No, and I'd never go into a train compartment by myself after dark. And if I feel uncomfortable in a train, you know, and I go on the underground public transport all the time, if I feel uncomfortable, I just keep moving. I move so I'm not like a sitting target. I don't, you know, I have been burgled and it is a horrible, horrible feeling, but then you just have to set it on one side. You have to just move on. Otherwise, you know, you love your house, it's your place of refuge.
Become a prison of its own.
Yeah.
And also, you know, we talk back to your mom, you know, the victims of these things shouldn't ever be left thinking, that was my fault, I should have done this, you know, it's the perpetrators. It's
never your fault.
And let's once again have a look at that picture. So please, if you know this man, the police incident hotline there, the number on your screen, also details on our website, so please help. Give your mum and sister our love, and we will wish her well.
Thank you. They're watching now.
Morning. Hello.
Hi, Mama.
Still to come, it may only be Wednesday, but today is all about the Saturdays, and they're here next. Hello, welcome back to Wednesday's Loose Women. Great to have your company this afternoon. Now, in the news today, there's a story about a customer who complained to her hairdresser, she's brave, saying she wasn't satisfied with her £360 extensions. Now, she and her hairdresser have exchanged a few heated choice words on social media. I can't repeat them, you might have seen them in the newspapers. But it did get us thinking, is there any point in complaining to your hairdresser if you're not happy with your hair cut, or do you do that thing which I have to say I do? I go, oh yeah, that's lovely, thank you very much, and then go home straight under the cold tap.
I'm the most opinionated person in the world, but when I sit in that hairdresser's chair, I undergo a complete personality change. I'm just morph into Blender Woman. So whatever they're doing, you can't get the words out, can you? And I've had some really, really horrible hairstyles, many of which have been photographed in this very studio. Yeah, that's me.
I can't see.
That's me and Arnold Schwarzenegger about
Wow.
1977.
It's the pink trousers I'm worried about.
I must have weighed about 2 stone lighter. I've got the Farrah Fawcett hair that's orange and yellow stripes.
Nice.
Flicking out of the front. It's shocking.
So when you sat in the chair getting that, you can't bring your... What is it happens to you, or me as well?
It doesn't to
I
me.
can't get the words out to go, I don't like what you're doing.
All the time, I always complain because the thing is with me, I'm a frustrated hairdresser, you see. So
oh, you're the worst.
Yes, I am. So, but with blonde, whenever people do your blonde, I can always see green. I always think it's gone green. Do you know what I mean by that? So I can always see green and go, no, it's gone green. And go, no, it hasn't. Yes, it has. And I have this terrible argument and go out, but I can always see green. So I'm always complaining. But they think I'm a little bit mad.
Have you had a lot of hairdressers then?
Yes. Constant changing hairdressers.
Michelle, you mentioned the guy that does your hair and makeup. Are you good with the hairdresser, or can you say
I think that they're all scissor happy.
Yes.
And you just got to tell them. They just go, you want a little bit off there, and you go, no. You've got to really, really watch them. When I was young, about 17, 18, I used to go to a training school. I think a lot of us did when we were young. Because I didn't have any money.
Free haircut.
I used to have £5 for a free haircut. And I used to get this Japanese girl who couldn't speak English. Oh, my God, the state of my hair. And then I had a green streak down it, and I think I did cry. But now I would just definitely say what I want. You have to. You've got to.
Have you ever come out to the hairdressers crying?
I got an undercut. He started to cut it and I changed my mind halfway through. I thought it was too short.
That's your fault, not his, to be fair.
Well, it wasn't like a shaved undercut,
right,
but he cut quite a lot off. And then I went, no, I don't like it. And so he started to cry because he felt that he'd ruined my hair. So I just wore it down. I didn't do anything with it for about 3-4 months.
The worst thing I think must be, if you're a hairdresser, and if you are one, let us know, is doing wedding hair. I think, can you imagine the responsibility?
Wedding hair never looks like the person's hair. It's all ringlets and hair they've never had.
The responsibility of doing somebody's hair on their wedding day, and then
I've got a wedding photo where I don't even look like me. I look like an alien.
Well, thank God for that, we all say.
How many weddings have you had?
4.
Yeah, bring her
weddings and Janet.
There's a film there, definitely, somewhere. OK, we've got a competition for you again. We're giving away £20,000 cash and £10,000 to spend at John Lewis. No question to answer. All you have to do is have a look at this. Call 0904 161 1000. Calls cost no more than £1.54 from BT landlines. Other networks may be higher and mobiles considerably more. Text WIN to 65029. Text costs £1.50 plus one standard network rate message. You can also enter for free at the website. Entrance must be 18 or over. Entries made after lines close at 5 p.m. on Sunday the 20th of April will not be counted but may still be charged.
The day after.
Now, today's final ladies are going to make up one of the UK's most successful bands. Please, would you welcome the gorgeous Saturday. We'd really love you all sitting up here if we could fit you in, because you'd all make fantastic loose women. It's lovely to see you. I know you're going to sing your new single for us in just a moment, which is called Not Giving Up. Is there a message that you're trying to send out there? Why is it called that?
Not giving up on love. Oh. But if there is a message we want to say today is that our tickets go on sale. We're going on it. Today we're touring the UK and Ireland in September. So
well, good, because the reason people are worried, and I've noticed a lot of your fans on Twitter, is because you've announced that you're going to do a greatest hits album coming out later in the year, and everyone's panicked and go, oh, if they're doing greatest hits, that means they're splitting up. That's it. The end of the Saturday.
Definitely not. No, it's more a celebration of all our hits, and we've had 17 singles now, so we feel we could put on a really decent show of the greatest hits and some new material as well. So,
and everyone may or may not know, 3 of you are mummies now. So Una was first, then Rochelle, Frankie. Congratulations to both of your little boy. So how's that going to work when you go on tour? You going to take the kids with you?
We're going to need lots of vehicles and suitcases and travel cots and hands.
They can do the backup vocals.
Yes, exactly. We'll rope them in. Yeah, it's just going to be a little bit manic. It's manic here today. I'm not sure if you've heard, but there's, all of us kids,
And Molly and Vanessa, do you get kind of auntie duties now then, when they're getting fed up? Like, quick, she's crying. Go to Auntie Molly. Go to Auntie Vanessa.
Do you know what? I don't think they actually trust us.
No, they don't.
I'll hold her.
Definitely not me, anyway.
We're not that desperate, so no.
And there's any, the three girls all having babies. Has it made either of you a bit broody? Thinking,
no, I'm okay for now.
I think
Vanessa was straight in there. Like,
she's always straight in there with that answer as well.
Molly?
No, well, they come in, the girls, I mean, bless them, they're like, oh, I've been up doing the night feed and I'm so tired. And I'm like, oh, I feel great, actually.
You're out on the tiles. They're all jealous now.
It's true.
And how different is it for you to be in a girl band now, being mums? Because you don't kind of connect the two. You think girl bands, you're out being wild and staying up and partying.
Girl bands have changed.
It's kind of good that we can do it. I think that
it was several years in before, we were, I think, 5 years together before I had a baby. So it wasn't like we started having babies as soon as we got into a girl band. It's kind of a natural progression, and we're balancing both well.
Bit for,
the working mums out there. Yeah, it's good.
And of course, you've had a boy, Frankie, so you're looking at the two girls and going, oh, potential girlfriends there.
I know, he's got a pick or two, do you know what I mean? So.
What you should do, you should organise a creche. That's what you need on tour, a creche. Go everywhere with you. In fact, that could be another bus.
Stay here with the baby.
Molly and Vanessa are like, please put it on the other bus.
Separate bus.
Aoife and Parker are here today, and Aoife was like, she was so cute to Parker. She was like stroking his head when he was sleeping, going, baby, baby.
She's grooming
Well,
him.
it's fantastic to see. We can confirm they're not splitting up the Saturdays. They are going out on tour. Albums out, singles out, which they're going to sing in just a moment. But that is it for now. Thank you very much, Michelle, for joining us today on the panel. Before the Saturdays sing us out, though, there's just time to tell you that I'll be back tomorrow, along with Mylene. Linda and Claire will be with us. We'll be discussing all the day's events. But back to you today, singing their latest single, Not Giving Up. Please give it up for the fantastic Saturdays.
You took my heart from the dark. I'm falling hard. With you it's light. You kill the shade, my burning pain. I feel like something's starting, playing in my head and it's beating loud. I feel like something's starting, walking on the edge till we're crashing down. Hit me so hard out of nowhere, stop stuck up in the air. Got me with my eyes wide open. Hit me so hard out of nowhere, stop stuck up in the air. Got me
Kate struggles to hold it together tonight as the team face a tough case. Law and Order UK continues at 9. And a playful collie's looking for a new home. Auf Wiedersehen, My Pet is here in half an hour. That's after the ITV News. Coming up next.